Hi everyone, I hope you're well and you're happy. So in this video, we'll be making something simple, something easy to make, something which is very expensive if you were to purchase it yourself. So we'll be making a fluted side table. This piece will take your home decor to the next level. This is something to try and something that you need to be really patient when you're doing this project. So stick around until the end and let me show you how easy it is to make a fluted side table, and you'll be able to make more of these projects as you go forward. Here are the tools and the materials that you're gonna need for this simple project. It's all simple things and also basic things that you may have around the house. So there's always alternative as well. Get pumped up and let's get ready to build. Before any DIY project, I always need to visit my local hardware store to make sure that I have all the supplies I need. For this week, I needed a half round pine. This is the star of this project. So basically, you need to make sure that especially when you're purchasing wood, which is pine, make sure that it's nice and has a few dents on it, and make sure that it's in a perfect order. That is very important. And if you need any questions and any assistance in the hardware store, please feel free to also ask for help as well. This is how the finished project is gonna look like. This is stunning, and please feel free to make any modifications to fit your specific needs. You can make this longer, thicker, or even taller as well. The first thing that I did was to make sure that I cut my wood. I had to take things manually, as you can see here, because I didn't have electricity at this point. So there's always alternative, especially when you're doing woodworking. Always make sure that you have alternatives. And the perfect part about this, just make sure that you sand and give it a nice finish so that it must be nice and smooth. The purpose for us to sand is just to smoothen and make sure everything and the rough edges are removed. For the structure of the table, what I needed was round circles, so that it must be like in a round circular form. So I had this, I purchased this round circles. So another alternative, if you have a router, you can always cut this for yourself as well, which is also a great thing. So the best thing about this, I needed to make sure that I understand the diameter of the entire circle so that I'm able to know where my middle portion is. So during this phase, the best tip that I can give you is that take your time and make sure that you have all the right measurements, and make sure that you put everything right in the middle. At this point, what I was doing, I was putting markings where I'm going to put my support wood cuts. So the support wood cuts are about 300 millimeter long. So this can be optional depending on what you want. So if you want it longer, you can make it longer or even shorter as well. At this point, I needed to join the support of the fluted table. So basically what I did, if you don't have a pocket hole jig, what you have to do, just tilt your drill bit in an angle and make sure that you do an opening as I'm doing as demonstrated. Make sure that it's nice and open, and you'll be able to join it in an angle. So here, the quickest way that I needed to do was to use, because I have a pocket hole jig, so I use my pocket hole jigs just to do an opening on all the both sides of the wood cut. So the type of wood that I'm using here is a 38 by 38 millimeter wood cut, and what I did was just to make sure that all the three support structures had the holes which I'll be able to put my screws on. Please take your time while you do this process, because this is the foundation of your table. You need to make sure that everything is nice and secured, and just take your time and don't rush this process, because we need to make sure that everything is in a perfect order. When I was putting everything together, I used my 20 millimeter screws. The reason I used 20 millimeters is because my bottom part, which is the round circle, is 21 millimeters. So that's going to allow and give me a bit of portion and leeway so that my screws must not point out on the other direction. If you're loving my content, please do tell me and let me know down in the comment section if this is something that you really want to try. And also, please share this video with your friends and your family, and I thank you. This is the portion where I realized I was actually making sure that I was really eyeballing the process. And there's always a trick on this. If you need to use the proper equipment, there's always equipment that you can use so that you make sure that everything is straight. If you have a spirit level, please kindly use your spirit level, because it will also make sure that everything is nice and straight. I didn't have one at that moment, so I had to use my eyes and also come up with other alternatives as well. After I was done with the support, what I was currently doing here was just to make sure that everything is nice and straight, and I needed to roll it so that I make sure that it's gonna free flow and there's nothing obstructing towards the wood cuts as well. The next phase is very repetitive. So here's another tip. If you have, wherever you buy your wood material, you can always ask your hardware store so that they can cut the wood cuts for you, especially if you don't have wood cutting equipment. So it's very important that you don't have to stop a DIY because you don't have all the equipment. So please use the other alternatives that are available. I needed to measure the distance between the top and the bottom part of my round circle so that I know exactly how long do I need to cut my half rounds. So this part is also very important as well. It's not a one size fits all. It will depend exactly on how you want your fluted table to look. The next coming segment is very repetitive. When I started the video, I actually elaborated that you need to be really patient when you're doing this project. So it's a lot of repetition and it needs a lot of patience. So I tried out the Makoya adhesive wood glue, or let me call it an adhesive. So basically, I'm actually impressed with this locally South African product. I'm actually impressed with how it turned out. And this is something that you should also look out for because it was quick to dry and I did not even struggle at all. You will notice that throughout my project, I will be using a nail gun. So if you don't have a nail gun, please feel free to use your normal standard hammer. It works perfectly fine. The only difference is that it takes a lot of time for you to apply everything and put the nails together. But if you don't have a nail gun, please don't hesitate to make a project like this. Please remember to share this video with your friends and your family, and also consider subscribing to my channel. We are on our way road to 10,000 subscribers. We'll do an amazing nice giveaway when we reach that milestone. You will see here that I'm putting long wood cuts which are 38 by 38 millimeter. This is just basically for support. So when I'm using my nail gun so that the table must not move around. So you can also use any form of support structure. You can even use your clamps as well so that it mustn't move around. Here's a tip. For cosmetic purposes, what I did was to put nails on only one side, which is going to be the bottom side of the fluted table. The reason I decided to do this was because I didn't want nails sticking out at the top side of my fluted table. So at the top side, what I did was just to put normal wood glue, and then I just nailed everything down, which is right at the bottom. Here's a clear view of what I was trying to demonstrate. So at the bottom of the table, I put wood glue, and what I did was at the top, I just put wood glue and also I secured it with tape. The reason I'm using tape was because I don't want nails at the top of the fluted table because of cosmetic purposes. And at the bottom, it's fine because it's right at the bottom. The eyes don't start there. So I put nails on there. So another thing that you need to notice with fluted furniture, I know you've probably seen fluted furniture before. It's very expensive. The reason why is because it takes time and it takes a lot of precision, and also it takes time and it's a lot of repetition as well. So when you see fluted furniture in the hardware store or in the furniture store, please respect the price on it. The reason is because it takes a lot of time. Now I do understand. After completing the entire table, so what I did was just to remove the tape. Please make sure that you remove the tape only after a couple of hours so that you make sure that the glue is dry and it's also secured as well. So this is very important. It's very, very important that you give it enough time for it to rest so that it must align. So what I'm currently doing here is just to put wood filler, especially at the bottom of the table, because I've put nails on it. I needed to close the holes which were created by the nails. So this is also important as well. One of my favorite parts of any project is sanding, because this is effortless and it actually tells me that I'm nearly done with my project. So the reason I love sanding is because it removes any excess material, especially in the project like this. I was hand cutting my wood, so I was not really precise. So I needed to cut off any excess wood that may have remained when I was cutting my wood cuts. Please let me know down in the comment section if you're gonna really give this project a try. I decided to spray paint my project because I wanted something quick something different as well. And also that was the only thing that I could find close by in terms of paint or stain. So when you're painting or staining, please make sure that you're fully protected and wearing your protective PPE. You'll notice here that I was not wearing my PPE when I initially started. Please also make sure that you wear your PPE so that you are safe. It's very important. Look how beautiful this stain is coming out. I love black, I love dark tones, and it goes well with the furniture decor that, and also the style that I'm heading for. So this was a very therapeutic moment. It was very nice and quick to apply as well. So the one table, I only used half of this spray paint. This is by Rust-Oleum, and it's also nice and quick to apply. I applied 2 coats into a back to back, and also give it enough time for it to settle as well. Look how stunning this beautiful piece is. This is a nice, beautiful side table or bedside table. You can use it in many different ways. So the next project that I want to do, I want to make a table using the same technique as well. So let me know down in the comment section, what are your views on this? Is this something that you want to attempt? Do you now have enough courage and encouragement to try your first DIY project? And remember, don't take it too hard. Just start. I just need you to start, and you're gonna enjoy it. Let me know down in the comment section if you really enjoyed this video, and share this video with your friends and your family. And I appreciate your love and your support, and thank you so much. And until next time, cheers. Bye.